Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Hope you're having a wonderful day here today. We're going to be taking a look at TY, one of the most exciting Terran players around right now, kind of bringing in his modified StarCraft 2 style to StarCraft 1. It's been really fun watching him so far. And he's going up against Bonyth, which is the real reason I actually wanted to watch this. Haven't seen a Bonyth game in a little bit. If you don't know who Bonyth is, he is a Polish player, extremely good. I think he's won the most BSLs out of everyone, so there's some claim to him being the #1 like foreigner player or non-Korean player, however you really want to word this at this point. It's getting a little bit tricky because the Chinese scene is a pro scene at this point. So, but it's a little bit hard to compare. Like, actually, Bonyth can still beat those top players in that scene as well, but I would say not probably winning records over a long term. So, anyways, he's very strong, a very good Protoss player, very stylistic as well. Bonyth is known for having supremely good micro. He's actually kind of like Foreigner Snow, I guess is the way that you could put it. Even the pros look at Bonyth's micro and think that he basically has, like, for instance, professional level Protoss versus Protoss. You really can't find people that can micro as well as him, or very few at least. So always fun to kind of catch up and take a look at how he's going to be playing. He is a Reaver guy and a carrier guy. In fact, that's most of his Protoss versus Terran. He doesn't go Nexus first very often. He generally just gets into Reaver, utilizes that a little bit, gets into carriers, and makes it really hard to hit a timing against him. Can be very frustrating to play against. So I would like to see how that will fare against TY. Now, TY himself is probably the most dropship intensive Terran player that there is right now. So my gut feeling is that TY might end up out multitasking Bonyth. Bonyth is not super fast. He's kind of like a much slower player than other players of his level. So I could see that multitasking really come into play here for TY. But we'll see. We'll see. These are just kind of my initial thoughts. And so here we go. It is cross spawn. Bonyth gets up there and sees that it's probably going to be a factory expansion. TY, is he going to end scout? It looks like he is. So it'll be a little bit till he finds Bonyth, but he might hit this in the middle, this Zealot. Oh, just barely saw it. I would assume that TY saw that if this Marine goes up the ramp. Okay, he might have just not seen it. Okay, he does come back. He does come back. Okay, so he saw it then. Because if you leave the Marine down here, it's a little bit janky getting up the ramp. Occasionally, the Zealot will get a hit if you're not quick. And this wouldn't have been played on perfect latency. Like, this is not turn rate 24 game. So, anyways, here comes that Zealot. Ooh, I can't believe you didn't get the hit on that. Cannot believe. Lots of damage already put onto that Zealot, so it will start to pull back. Obviously, leading with the Zealot cross map is not ideal here for Bonyth, but not the end of the world either. Nexus has come up very quickly here, and range afterwards. Dragoon on the way, Zealot going home, and TY just with the Vulture expansion should be able to go ahead and throw that down pretty quickly. Now, he added the third depot. Third depot is, in my opinion, as soon as you see a Zealot, third depot isn't a mistake. Protoss has to really bend themselves into a pretzel to make the third depot a mistake if they made a Zealot. But you can see that, like, for instance, he's 27 of 34. It costs 100 minerals for the depot. So it's like, okay, was that super optimal? It's like, well, he will have more SCVs, but the command center will be slightly later. Yeah, I subscribe to the 3 depot policy. And I feel like pros are a little bit split on it. Some of them will do it. Light sees a Zealot, he'll just make a 4th Marine and be like, screw it, I'll have a little bit longer supply cap, but a quicker command center. So looking down at Bonyth's space, just making some Dragoons. He has a robotics on the way. TY getting his own bunker right now. The Vulture has taken 1 Dragoon hit so far, but still kind of scouting around the map, seeing what he can find. Mines on the way. Tank 2nd, Vulture 3rd. Not the most common, but not uncommon either. And yeah, like everything looking pretty normal here. Little bit of a supply cap there from TY. Actually, a lot of people are not very practiced with the 3 depot opener. I actually went to that as my main. The player known as Soso or Hani, he actually he was doing for a while there 3 depot openers all the time, and I really like the style, so I got to know it pretty well. But like, it's a really funny timing of the 4th depot, so a lot of people get supply blocked when they go 3rd depot. The timing, it doesn't feel natural, but you got to make it when you still have actually a lot of supply because you're pumping out vultures quickly there. Okay, so here comes a little push from TY. Bonyth going to pull back. I'm not afraid for Bonyth at all. Like, I know how good his micro is, and you'll see. Well, I mean, there's nothing much to that. It's 4 Dragoons versus a tank. So a little bit of an overextension there. I noticed the Marines went back. I think what happened was TY attack moved back, but the tank got aggroed. I think it saw a goon, and so it went forward or something. But I'm not 100% sure on that. So definitely a little bit of a blunder there. Losing that first tank gives Bonyth a lot more breathing room. And in fact, this was a 2nd factory opener. So that actually makes it, well, I don't know if worse is the right word for it. I don't know if he was planning on putting on heavy pressure with the factory anyways, but just something to keep in mind. So uses a Zealot to clear the mine at that 3rd. Oh, 6 minute, 20-second 3rd Nexus. Good timing. TY with speed out already. He's going to run around. He'll be able to pick off this probe and Zealot very easily. Not sure what other damage he will get. Looks like a little counterattack coming up, but, well, tank, siege mode. Yeah, 2 tanks plus bunker. If TY micros well, he should be okay here. But we'll see. The vultures, yeah, it looks like they poked the front, or I don't know if they did, because there is actually a hole there. Vultures can fit there, but yeah. Looks like Bonyth will power down that bunker pretty quickly, but with 2 siege tanks plus the SCVs, I still don't think TY is dead, but Bonyth has very good micro, so you do have to be really careful. He can actually get a lot out of something like 5 Dragoons in the early game. The siege mode is about to finish up, so still everything looking pretty good here for TY. Third command center. Oh. All right, we're starting to get kind of an interesting game here. So there's been a little bit of back and forth as far as the pressure goes. Neither of them really finding that much. It's like, yeah, Dragoon got badly hurt. He got the bunker and the Marines, I guess. He's killed a siege tank. The speed vultures were out. Looks like they're basically cleaned up at this point. Like 2 remain. But both of them going for like quite fast 3rds. Well, this is a pretty normal 3rd for Protoss, and Bonyth is going into Reaver from here, and of course he has an Observer out already. TY, now the speed of his 3rd command center is a little bit weird, but it's not necessarily bad. Like, if Bonyth were to go up instantly to like 8 gates and Citadel, I could see this possibly becoming a problem. But if he plays like, let's say he goes like 6 gates here and he just gets shuttle speed and just kind of, you know, kind of aims towards a 4th base, that type of thing, then I would say, okay, this is really good for TY. Not like big advantage or anything like that, but yeah, the way that these builds line up, it's a very interesting situation for TY, the way that he's decided to play this. Now, he has a very concave tank line here. That is not something you'd be able to attack into. But as the Reaver comes out, Bonyth is going to have some potential. There's already fair missile turrets around. He's actually getting Goliath range relatively quickly here, continuing to add some factories, and he's going to land the 3rd CC super fast. I'm actually super interested right now. I am super interested in this. I'm actually getting some chills at the moment. Because, like, what is considered a fast 3rd is starting your 3rd CC right now. That's a fast 3rd in the current metagame of Terran versus Protoss. Like, that's, if someone starts their 3rd command center around 9:20 or so on location, you're like, okay, this guy's actually, he's putting out a good game. This is a solid game so far. Like, this is looking good. You know, as long as they hold it and it finishes up and all that. TY here, though, like, he's landing it at that time. So he's sitting here on 63 SCVs. He does have 5 factories. His army is not that large. He does have some good missile turrets, but again, I see some potential here with the speed shuttles. Speed is almost done. Another shuttle is coming up. I don't know. The turret coverage is good, though. Look at this. Turret, turret. Goliath's in the center. Turret, turret. Turret, turret. Like, you definitely can fly by these and maybe get some damage. And one thing to note is the Academy is very late here. You have to give up something to be able to do a build like this. So the Academy is very late. So he's not entirely sure of what Bonyth is up to. He knows that there's observers. He knows that there's at least a third base. Both players really getting their full economies going here. Bonyth starts at 4th Nexus. Couple Reavers just kind of sitting there on defensive duty. Oh, and we have air weapons started for Bonyth. Very, very common for him to just start getting that going because he knows he's going to go to Stargates. And a Stargate got started. Where is it? Here. Pretty good hiding spot. People don't scan the natural very oftentimes. But if you scan and see the Cybernetics core moving, then you know that there's probably Stargates hidden somewhere. So some Vulture's going to rotate out. Bonyth up in the 70s as far as probes go. I think he'll probably stop there. I think TY's probably done on SCVs as well for now. You generally don't want more than the numbers that they have. The Vulture's coming around, and they're going to find the 4th base. Now, that's not a scary fast 4th base. Sometimes the 4th base comes up really fast, and you're like, that's going to be a really big army. But Bonyth generally isn't a very greedy player in that regard. He's greedy in regards to tech, not to expansions. So it's a very fine-timed 4th base. Nothing scary for TY. TY starts to move out a little bit. I'm not sure what this is. I think that actually could have even been a misclick there. Maybe he's hunting for observers or something. Not entirely sure. If he were to catch those shuttles, that would be the most insane move ever. Maybe that's what he was doing. TY is a very good player like that. Some of these StarCraft 2 guys have some, like, insane things that they worked out about when to move things onto the map to catch certain things. I remember specifically there was a metagame where I think it was Gumiho was the best at it, where he would run a spider mine out, a widow mine out as far as it could possibly get to catch an oracle, and Protoss would always be surprised. It would, like, burrow right before an oracle flew over it. It was insane. But yeah, there's like a lot of timings that got figured out in StarCraft 2. And we do that in StarCraft 1 as well, but StarCraft 1 is such a messy mechanical game that other than early game timings, we don't have, the timings fall off a lot as you get later in the game, which isn't the case as much in StarCraft 2. So I do feel like they have a really good brain for figuring that out if they're a high-level StarCraft 2 player. The games definitely do have some differences and some different skill sets utilized a little bit. Okay, so 3 Stargate carriers are being created. TY here, setting up a 4th base. Science facility, yeah, it's a little bit late. It's not super fast. And in fact, he never even started, oh no, he finished +1 armor. Okay, because I didn't see it up there and I had clicked on it, was +1 already. Anyways, attack here to the 3rd base. 3 shuttles just kind of bombing in. Reaver's actually getting some pretty good hits in here, but they will get blown up pretty quickly as well. So it looks like Bonyth gonna have to pull back. Bonyth just about maxed out. TY definitely a little bit lower, but he's getting his economy really going. 74 SCVs right now. So yeah, he has added on a bit higher than I thought he would, but that's okay. TY was actually known for being the most, the player that makes the most SCVs in StarCraft 2. Like, out of any race, in fact. It wasn't just out of Terrans. He just made the most workers. That's the style that he's always liked. And it is a very reasonable style. A lot of the younger StarCraft 1 Terrans liked more SCVs. Actually, Last known for that as well, who's kind of retired right now, but still plays regularly, just not in ASL. Okay, so taking a look over here. 3 carriers are out, 3 more on the way. So this is the attack timing. The attack timing is literally right now. Like, +2 attack is not going to be ready in time. EMP is not going to be ready in time. He actually has to go. There's no real splash damage other than, there's 1 Reaver. And we have, like, 6 times 6, 36 supply and carriers that are not going to be in the fight. So, like, you literally will not get a better fight for the entire game than right now. This is exactly when you need to move out as TY. Bonyth is going to go for a counterattack. This is the type of thing you need to do when you're going carriers, is buy time, and counterattacking is oftentimes the way. Now, look at how TY is rotating back. I find this to be the wrong move. Like, he sees the carriers now. I'm not sure he, like, really understood the carrier count or what was going on, because look at his army. His army is really not anti-carrier right now. He starts making lots of glides. He only had a small handful, so yeah. I think that's actually what went on here, is that he was playing a more careful game and didn't realize what he was up against. So this is going to give Bonyth a real chance at winning this game. Like, he has a real chance right now. This exact position, I would put this right now as, like, pretty even. TY has a great economy. The economy of Protoss is not huge, but he has 6 carriers, and that's when they start getting scary, is more than 4 equals scary. So, and there's not splash damage yet. Like, I'm sure Bonyth will get Psystorm, but it's not out there yet. What's his attack upgrades, actually? Do we have any with... Okay, just +1, but he does have 2 upgrades going for that. Speed observers as well. Okay, so we have all the stats kind of sitting there staring us in the eye. Yeah, I would put this as, like, pretty even right now. But this is the type of position that Bonyth is very good at. He knows this really well. He gets into this type of position a lot. And a lot about being good at StarCraft is playing the positions over and over and over. And I guarantee you Bonyth has put more games in at this position than TY has. Not even a question. Now, TY is pushing forward. He does have 2-1 upgrades, which are very good against interceptors. Very good tank volley there. We need to see lots and lots and lots of Goliaths made. He does have the Science Vest on. It will get picked off right away. No energy for EMP or anything. EMP, you know, obviously it's a good spell. It's useful, but it's hard to even hit the carriers. So even if you hit them with EMP, the Goliaths might not hit them. Now, look at this spread. Siege tanks over the side. Bonyth is attacking his tanks, and this is exactly the type of move TY wants him to do. Realistically, what you have to do here is just send your carriers in that direction. TY has actually backed off with this army for the most part. And as the carriers rotate over here, this would have been a great time for TY to kill that, but he actually just rejoins in the center, which seems okay. He's going to lose a lot of siege tanks over here, unfortunately. That was like 10 or 11 siege tanks, I want to say. So Bonyth gets a lot of value out of that. Now, he lost a lot of Dragoons during this time, so it wasn't completely free. The tank's going down towards this base. He did not end up killing this Nexus, which was, I would say that's definitely a mistake from TY. He should have pushed some units further. More bases going up. Definitely something you need to do in Terran versus Protoss when someone has carriers, is kind of make command centers everywhere. Carriers are a little bit slow and you need to outmaneuver them. So really important to have juicy targets around the map, which are also giving you value if they're not going after them, of course. Okay, the Zealots run in on top of the on top of the Goliaths. Yeah, it takes some damage for sure on the Goliaths from those Zealots, but very efficient here for TY. You can see that Bonyth is getting really, really low in supply right now. It is becoming a bit of a problem. The bases that are up, so he's killed this base. Bonyth is basically sitting here almost empty, still okay. But not great probes count, 42 probes, like 3 bases technically, but not for super long. Like, if he's going to win this game, it's going to be very heavily on the side of the carriers. Now, notice how he comes in, he's targeting down siege tanks. He wants the Dragoons fighting the Goliaths, and he wants the siege tanks sniped by the carriers. And actually, this is going okay for Bonyth. He's actually doing a very good job here. Picking off quite a few Goliaths, picking off a lot of siege tanks there as well. I'm actually not sure what the overall siege tank count is right now. By the way, wow. Very, very low on this one. 32 health. Couple Goliath shots from death. More Goliaths walking out. There's like very few siege tanks at the moment. You know, I tell you, one of the things that really helped me in learning how to beat carriers was many years ago, Scan told me, make sure you still have like 12 siege tanks when you're fighting against carriers. Because a lot of people just look and say, well, I mean, it's so strong, you need a lot of Goliaths. And you do. But if you don't have 12 siege tanks, then the ground army will kill everything you have. 12 siege tanks is kind of like the break point where you start to take good fights against Protoss ground armies when a bunch of supply heavy carriers are there. So right now, Bonyth is clearing this 12 o'clock base. It's the 4th base of TY. TY still plenty of minerals. Actually still okay because he has transferred so many SCVs around the map. I love this defensive setup. Really good setup there from TY. Gonna push out, siege up some of these siege tanks. He does have those 2/2 upgrades with +3 attack on the way. Bunch of Dragoons over here. Going to help him kind of engage. Actually, probably should pull the Dragoons back. Yeah. And just kill this all with the carriers. This is a really close game right now. Even though it felt like TY was kind of running away with it for a moment after he killed Bonyth's 6 o'clock base, Bonyth is doing a better job taking these engagements. Like, he knows exactly how to engage, exactly what can be done. Look at him save his carriers as much as he possibly can. Obviously, he's losing a few here. It's a bloody game, but he's picking off a lot of these siege tanks, which is like, okay, now you have to spend gas and make more siege tanks. You have to spend gas and make Goliaths. Very, very tough. TY has had an incredibly tough time keeping his siege tank count up here. And a big part of that, I think, was losing this group over there. Now, Bonyth is actually attacking into the main base area. Now, obviously, if he gets on top of the factories, that'll be a victory. But this might be the hardest place to break on the map. Breaking over here, I think, would have been a little bit easier. There's only a single, or 2 siege tanks, rather. So not all that difficult. But he is going for it. He's going for the throat right now. Bonyth does have his own 4th Nexus back up, but too busy microing right now to get over there and mine from it. Going to be pulling back here with those carriers. And he's going to be able to take out the natural here of TY. But TY's economy is very good right now. Having these extra bases, he's just now taking those gases. This one is like just waiting for anything to attack it to lift off. That is not one that's going to stay around long. Now, Bonyth attacking to the bottom left. Does he not really know about top right? Kind of feels that way at the moment. Targeting down the command center. Maybe he just wants to clear this area first, which is fine as well. There's like a lot of value over here. He's, you know, these bases did have a fair amount of resources left in them. Killing off a ton of SCVs here. Oh my god. The one siege tank just barely lives there. If there's no siege tanks, you can actually take this army and attack into the pure Goliath. Dude, Bonyth is just literally killing TY with just carriers and a small group of Dragoons. Game is still not over yet, though. TY gets a Vulture up here. Very few probes mining right now for Bonyth. Really, really, really needs to transfer some over here. And now going after these factories. All right, probes run out of this area. This is a great move from TY. You know what? This is like such a hard game to call. Like, Bonyth is so good with these carriers. And obviously the carriers are OP, in case he was like, oh, casting Artosis and playing Artosis are so different. No, I'm the same not so complex human. Carriers are OP. They scale way better than Terran Mac, as you can see. And this is insane that he's able to do this with no economy. But, I mean, he's really good at it. You have to give credit where it's due. The greatest carrier ape. All right? Like, he's really, really good in these positions. And you can see his micro is super, super on point. He's gaining more value than you would probably see out of anyone. You'd be hard-pressed to find a pro micro carriers and Dragoons like this. It's like a symphony. Now, he's clearing the main base out pretty heavily, but TY still has some chances because of over here. Bonyth is literally not mining, guys. So he will run out of interceptor money even. A lot of Goliaths popping out at the same time. He gets another carrier dead. Only 5 carriers remain. He's going to kill this base. I think TY wins this. Absolutely insane game. Maybe it's time for the carriers to come over here. You can definitely kill this base basically free. Like, if the Goliaths come back, I don't think he actually breaks this base is the problem. Yeah, taking out even the eBay is a very good call. Very good call on that. Dragoon's just going to finish off everything over here. Trying to evacuate some of the factories now. Bonyth trying to get this base. It really, really important. You know what? If he micros correctly up here, maybe he can just whittle down the Goliaths as well. +3 air attack, by the way, on those interceptors. So each interceptor doing 11 damage. +2 armor, so it's, you know, they start with a base armor. So 8 damage per interceptor hit. Just insane. Look at this. He's killed off those interceptors. Only 4 carriers remain. This is actually where you want to start trying to target your missile turrets when the carriers slide in too close and actually hit the carriers. Because you have to actually kill the carriers at this point, it looks like. 5 health left on this one. Pulls it back. Really, again, superb micro. He's killed most of everything here. I think the Dragoons should actually come over to help now. Long distance mining to this base. Okay. Can't really blame him for it. Another carrier goes down. That very red carrier got picked off. But look at this. TY having such a hard time catching these carriers. Takes the shields off one. That's something. Oh my god. All right, 2 more pop out. Another one comes from somewhere on the map. He's got the most hurt one underneath the other 2. Makes it a little bit harder to, to target. You don't get to choose where they are in the stack, by the way. When they come out, they're like already decided where they are in the stack. I don't know. I actually have no idea how that's determined or anything. My guess is it's probably order of production or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. All right, vultures are catching every single probe. There's... like, TY is still mining much more. But he's got very little anti-air. The DPS, like the damage output here, is very, very high from the carriers, and 4 Dragoons are coming. If these Dragoons get to here, I think Bonyth wins. If TY could just get a group of 12 Goliaths, he would win. And, like, this is where you pull SCVs to fight, by the way. You do not fight this with just Goliaths. Okay, he gets one. He gets one. 100% you want your SCVs screwing with the Dragoons. There is no reason not to be doing that. Okay, the vultures come back. That's something. That's something. But it's so important to keep that Goliath count as high as possible. And he's got oversaturation. He won't lose that much mining by pulling 8 SCVs, you know, to try to tank/hit these Dragoons. Okay, he is finally pulling those now. So SCVs come out as well. Trying to go after these. Oh my god, the carriers. Oh my god, 2 carriers here. 25 kills on that one. SCV's trying to get around the goons. A little bit late on that, of course. Oh my god, this is so insane. This is so insane. TY is mining from 2 bases, guys. And actually, I think he forgot about this. He needs to send these over immediately. These 4 Goliaths might actually win him the game if he brings them over. Oh, big hits right there. Oh, missed target, missed target. Okay, he's getting rid of the last Dragoon. Nope, not quite, not quite. This is, I can't even. 29 kills, 30 kills. He's got 59 kills, guys, on these 2 carriers. All right, we got 60 kills. This one is so red. It's like 1 Goliath hit from death. The armory might actually be a better target. Okay, there is... oh my god, 2 Goliaths intercept these? Are you serious? What is going to happen here? I think TY's got it now. Only 1 carrier remains, 2 Dragoons. There's just... the income is too high for TY. And I think he actually would have won it earlier if he had just pulled like 8 SCVs or even 12 SCVs when the initial 5 goons came. I think this game would have already been over. But it does look like TY should get the victory. He's bringing these SCVs to fight once again. Just needs to put a little bit of extra damage on those Dragoons. GG is called. That was a crazy game. That was a crazy, crazy game. Congrats to Bonyth for an insane match here against TY. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.